Okay, hey there. So this week, this is part of a series of energy healings that I am recording with a handful of willing clients who have agreed and signed a waiver to have their energy healing sessions with me shared publicly. So this is the very first of the series with Mindi. And we started the session really open to whatever was going through. But the basis of this session was around finding a way to deeply trust in herself, in her instincts, in her knowing, and to let go of feeling discouraged and feeling like nothing was working and getting discouraged. So if that's something that you sometimes struggle with, or perfectionism, this is definitely an episode that you're going to want to watch and create a sacred safe space for yourself as you're watching, because likely when you're seeing her energy healing and you're hearing the things and you're feeling the energy from her session, it might actually bring things up for you and yourself. So you might want to have a journal with you to take notes, to see what came up for you, to see how you process, and understand that this is the first time I've really publicly shared my work in this capacity. So you're also part of it as you watch the replay, and you're kind of part of holding the space for Mindi as she's having this beautiful session done. And so what we ultimately open up her energy field. And at the end of it, when we stopped recording, she was like, oh my gosh, I have so many things to confirm that just happened. And when we did this one section, we were out in the ethers, and she saw that part from Shrek. I think it's Shrek 2 with Princess Fiona. And they say, at this, when the spell breaks, you'll turn back into your truest form. And she turns back into the ogre when they thought she was going to be the princess. And she heard as clear as day that song, All Star. And she got that knowing that it was safe to be me. And it was safe to be just fully myself and embracing that. And to be safe to be who I am. And then she heard as clear as day from her higher guidance, you were made for such a time as this. You were made for such a time as this. And so this is the significance of energy healing, is that, yes, there's a whole lot of stuff that came up for me, physically, we're talking about her jaw, we're talking about control, we're talking about all different parts in her session. And as the client, the recipient, she's also receiving insights and information as well. So it's really powerful, both from a practitioner side as well as from a customer and client side. And I hope you enjoy watching this session. Again, this is part of a series. So make sure that if you enjoy this, you watch some of the other ones, because every single one will be uniquely different. So you'll get something different from each one. And it's just a joy to be able to do this work. This is called Business and Soul Alignment healing sessions with me. I do them one-on-one. If you would like more information to book a session with me, you can either reach out to me through email, emily@emilyaarons.com. You can hit me up on Instagram, and we can talk about the next steps and how to book that session. Lots of love to you. Thank you so much for being here, and enjoy this very first session for Mindi Huebner. Hey. Hi, Mindi.
Hi, Emily.
So, we've known each other for quite some time, but we've never had one of these one-on-one sessions before. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited for that. So before we get started, I just like to preface these sessions with kind of saying, I don't have any expectation for what happens right now. I come in open. I've already kind of been in your energy field for the last half an hour. I've been channeling feeling some energy, pulled some cards for you. And the way that they run is I have zero expectation, and I let your spirit team, my spirit team kind of get together so that I can give you the best session possible for you that is in your highest and best interest. And sometimes that can look like some really deep healing work. Sometimes it can look like we're just focusing on strategy. Sometimes it's a little bit of both. But anyway, I basically come into it like, I'm yours. So I like to open up the question, what would you like to work on? Because usually leading up to these sessions, my clients are like, full of ideas and they're like, I want to get the most out of it. Like all these thoughts kind of come up right before. Did that happen?
Yes and no. What's wild is I was like, I have zero expectation. Like, I'm just like, I'm here, I'm ready. I had a tiny little thought just now, like coming into my office, please don't rip my soul out.
I didn't even know how to do that. So you're good. You're good for that.
Please don't me.
Like, yeah, nor would I want to, just like for the record.
I what I mean. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
So, I mean, what would I want? I want to grow my business. I want to be the go-to, intuitive mindset coach for 6, 7, and 8 figure female entrepreneurs. Like, just that, just that. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. Okay. And I'm working on it, and doing lots of the pieces that I think moving me in that direction, and tapping into guidance, of course, cards and you and reboot every freaking day. And, like the things like showing up for myself. Yes. So I would love some deeper.
Yes.
Guidance.
Yeah. And I definitely know that about you, that, you're really focused on doing the best you can for yourself all the time. And so, so I'm going to just kind of share what came up, because as you started talking, I can already start to feel some energy kind of like moving around. I wrote down third chakra with like wiggly lines around. It's like there's a lot of energy going on around third chakra, which is our will center. It's our solar plexus. It's where we trust our gut instinct. And the other thing my guides are like, keep it to a half an hour. Okay, I will do this. But I sometimes have difficulty with like shorter sessions, but that's okay. I can do this. Okay. So they're like, just go into it. All right. So what I started feeling into was what I wrote down was, it feels like nothing is working and I'm getting a little discouraged. And when I felt into that energy, it was like, because like, I know you a little bit. So like, I know what an amazing practitioner you are and your skill set. And I've had you on the podcast, and like, you deliver such high quality and high value. And so for me, I'm like, and what it started to make me feel like was, before I had a big shift and breakthrough in my business, I was kind of feeling similarly, where I was like, why doesn't anybody know what I do and what's happening? And like, I was really feeling discouraged, and like I was getting kind of stuck in the muck a little bit. And that's really hard. It's really hard to keep going when it doesn't feel like there's progress happening. And I just want to relay to you that there is progress happening. And I also wrote, don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's some perfectionistic tendencies. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of hard to be an entrepreneur and try to grow and do things, like everything is new and nothing is perfect because they've never done it before. And so we can kind of get a little bit like judgy on ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I can certainly do this too. I totally get that. So the cards that I pulled, and I want to, like, I'm getting like a little aching in the back of my head too. So this is like, the back of your head will correspond with your third eye. That's your intuition, your insight. But then where it's landing with me is like not the back of the third eye, but actually kind of closer to like the neck, and like all up in this musculature, which can be around control. Like our control is up here in the neck. I know now you're like moving, right?
This is legit right on. Like I have major things happening with my neck all the time.
Okay. And also guidance and reminding me, like I was encouraged to do yoga this morning. And like everything I do in the morning before a client session is like I'm feeling into the energy of my client already.
Okay.
And so it was really intentional. And I literally looked at the time. I was like, it's been 45 minutes. Like I was actually shocked at how long I was like doing yoga for. And I was just following my body intuitively. I would imagine you probably do some really intuitive movement practices as well. Yeah. But we want to get into moving some energy, and I'm already starting to sweat a little bit. Like there's a lot of moving, like there's energy already kind of moving. Like I'm cold because my hair is wet, but now I'm sweating. All right. So the cards I pulled for you was Kuan Yin. This is the compassion card. This is that one around being easy on yourself, release judgments of yourself and others, focus on the love and light that is within everyone. What this really feels like too, I used to work with an acupuncturist who work with fertility with clients, and she would have them talk to Kuan Yin all the time and like surrender their worries, their judgments, and almost like praying for like fertility. And I almost feel like this is relevant for our business as well, because we're looking for fertility in our business. We're looking for that attraction and to create life. And this is also really just coming from like a loving, she's on a pink lotus flower. There's that heart chakra energy. She's got that bright light behind her. And so when I look at this, it's like, you've got it all going on, sister. You're in the right place. You do have alignment. You have the supportive spirit and your ancestors, and you have all this beautiful, like violet and blue energy, all this intuition. And so like your upper chakras are like, oh, they're so ready and they're doing the work. And so I'm really pulled down again, back to third chakra. This like secondary lotus that's in her lap is asking you to really come back down. And I know for people who are very, empathic and like feely and like super intuitive, we have to really pull the energy down, and because we could get stuck up here. And if we get stuck up here, then the energy doesn't have a chance to come down and manifest and bring that whole like, one foot in front of the other. We kind of get a little jammed up in our upper chakras. We have to do some more, like I was doing, the yoga, the movement, the hip opening, and some of the really interesting poses, not that they were interesting poses, but some of the interesting things that came up in the practice this morning was doing tree pose with my eyes closed and feeling supported, like literally on the ground, feeling my foot really rooted, feeling the corners of my feet, but also almost like the walls and the energy around me were supporting me, that I didn't have to feel like it was just me, like, oh God. It was like, imagine the walls and like the energy came into you.
I can feel it coming in right now. Like right now, I just felt like this big move in. Yeah.
And so it's like that insulated hug. Like, it's not just you. You're not doing this alone. And so like really pulling it in. So that came in for the movement practice too. And you can definitely do that in your own practice, however that feels right. And like, even just doing it now, like how fast it was when you're like, whoo, and you can like, I feel like all the tingles all over me as we talk about it too. So, I'm asking if I should say these for later. They're like, no, just go for it now. Okay. So this is what I mean. Like, I don't have any expectations, but sometimes I get directions of like, not now, do it later. And it's like, whoo, but usually the cards are still turned over and I'm like, surprise. So anyway, this card is leap of faith. Feed your fear, feed your faith. And again, this is like, you've got this going on, sister. Like nothing you're doing is wrong or out of alignment. Like a lot of things are shifting for everybody these days, but like, you're solid. And like, I guess you just needed to hear that from somebody else, but you're solid. So like, let go of the, like, what ifs, the shoe's going to drop. What about the money and the people and shut up. Thank you for showing up, but no, thank you. Your opinion is not validated here, and I will no longer validate it. Like, this is just about faith. And I'm doing this work right there with you, Mindi. Like everything, my business model is shifted. And so I have to be 100% on faith. And it's so easy to slip into old habits of like the worry and what ifs, but like not in faith. Inspiration, it's your purpose to shine your light. Like, don't you dare ever think about getting a job or doing anything different. I will come over there and I'll fight you.
No.
Like, don't ever.
No.
Don't ever do it. You have to do this work. 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 Okay. And it's not easy. And I feel like this like well of emotion that's coming up with that card. It's like, you were chosen to do this work and you chose to do this work. And that's a huge amount of expectations. Like, oh, like I'm chosen. Okay, got it. Like it is so much, but you can handle it. You are chosen to do this work and things have been difficult so that you keep going. It's almost like they're showing me the never ending story where he's like in the muck and he's just like, nah! He's just like being swallowed by the swamp, but he is not giving up. And so like that energy needs to come. It's like, it needs to come tearing, ripping out of you. Okay. But there's such a strong force around you that's like, just don't give up. Don't lose faith. Keep going. And that's all this heart chakra, like yummy, yummy, yummy. But crystal clear, you can be it. And so this is that validation, like, yeah, it is for you. It's going to happen. And so we have to shift some timelines around, of like, when did you think it was going to work out? Like I make jokes about, these like entrepreneurs who are like 6 figures in 6 minutes, like all this bullshit. And, it gets us to be like, I can do it too. But then when you don't, you're like, I'm a failure, I'm a loser. And like all of the old stories. And then your ego starts showing you pictures of you when you were a kid and a teenager. And you're like, remember that time you sucked then and you still suck. And you're like, what the hell? But that's not true. And so this is all about really shifting back into, yes, your heart chakra, but dropping into like that deeper place of like, I'm seeing Xena, Xena the warrior, priestess Xena, that like, warrior woman, she's equipped, she's got a sword, she's got like leather outfit situation. And like, you don't want to cross her. Okay. So we're going to pull some of that in. All right. How are you doing so far?
Good.
Great. Okay. All right. So let's pull in, what is the next thing for Mindi? Let's get into moving some energy. All right. And I'm just grounding myself and opening up for that next level. I call in the highest, most crystalline, pure, white healing light, filled with the highest healing vibrations. And I ask for this light to surround this space, sealing it as a sacred healing space for Mindi and allowing her to receive everything she requires from this session, opening her up to that next level of growth, of inspiration, of intuition, of security, of safety, of creativity, of trust, perseverance, faith. Opening her up for that next level of support to come in, to hold her and to lead her and guide her. Allowing for higher levels of illumination on her path, allowing it to be crystal clear, to be open. Higher levels of discernment and trust. There's this violet flame that's coming in to surround the space, to really seal it in as a sacred healing space. And I call in all of Mindi's highest guidance, her highest teachers and masters, her highest angels and archangels, her highest self, to deliver whatever is in the highest and best interest of Mindi, to bring her to that next level of growth, alignment, allowing her to step into that next level, to become that go-to person for her work. And as soon as I said it, it was almost like this, like upward and letting go energy. Like it showed me almost like flower petals. If you had the outer layers of a rose, like the outer petals are just kind of like they kind of just like fall off. And so it's like, whew, like we're letting go of some old identities as we're opening up to that next one. Because we really can't hold on to the old flower petals as much as we want them to stay. Like they serve their purpose, and it's time for them to just kind of fall off. They've withered off, and it's time for them to be let go of and released. So let's go into this. So, I mean, I know I wrote these words. I want to sort of feel into what feels right for you. What does it feel like for you when we talk about like growing your business, becoming the go-to person, where are you feeling right now in terms of like getting there?
I'm getting there. It's happening. I'm working with more truly soulmate clients, regularly. And of course, like I want to go faster. and what I'm getting there, and where am I missing that, which is silly, but that perfect messaging, that where am I missing that? And recently I've been super feeling into like owning the fact that I am intuitive, that I do have sacred gifts, and that is part of what I do. I'm not just a mindset coach. Like it's way bigger than that. Mm-hmm. And that really owning that outwardly is going to then like make that messaging clear, bring in the people who want that. They want the left and right brain, right? They want that beautiful harmony of spirituality and, get it done.
The truth is, even as you say that, like I get all lit up and excited, and, this is evidence, like your messaging going deeper is evidence of your personal work, that you have gone deeper. You are opening up, you're ascending to the next level. Like mindset is like hugely. Not enough for you. And hugely. Right. Yeah, and so you're of course going to reflect that with your customers as well. So where are you feeling like you're not getting there, like at the speed that you want to?
It's just not, I don't know, it's not coming in as quickly as, so then confidence is a superpower of mine, probably not a good thing, but I never doubt my ability. Like, I know I'm made for this. I know I was called for this kind of thing. It's more I get caught up in the copy and the tech and the this and the that, I mean, just to be completely honest, I don't want to do. Like, this is not what I was
made for. I know.
And so, and yet there's this transformation, this bridge happening where I am still there. Like there's not, besides a spirit team, there's not a huge team of people behind me for me to go, here, do this. So it's really feeling like I've dialed in on that messaging, that tactical part of it,
Yeah. Could you take me into what does it look like when it's done? Like when you've gotten there, can you take me into that vision a little bit so we can sort of feel in that energy a little bit?
Well, two things just came up for me. Like one was just a picture of a sales page where literally like the moment they landed on it, it was like, where's the button? How do I give her my money? Like there's no, like, it just was this magnet, that immediately came up. Mm-hmm. And then all the back end stuff, like just like shining brightly, like it's all working just like it should. All the funnels are connected. All the emails are like all of that. Like it was literally like,
okay. So let's go even higher. Let's go out of the minutia of the day to day.
Okay.
And take me into like like the weirdest vision that has come to you that you're like, I saw that, that's me, and this is the thing that I'm doing?
Well, I was just on a huge stage, like, you know, walking and talking, because I'm a mover, you know, and just like sharing my message, shining my light, you know, bringing people in that way, like being a sought after, the go-to, the sought after, like, please come, you know, kind of a thing. So it was that was, and I don't even feel like it's that crazy. Like I feel like so doable. Right? I told you I'm super confident now.
What are you wearing?
Oh my gosh. Some really cute white pants and some heels.
That's so funny. I saw white clothes too. I was like, ooh, that's such a chic little outfit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Got some fun gold jewelry on. Like, and I'm just in the zone. I'm lit up. Just feeling the energy.
Good.
Of all of these, and they're women. They're all women. I work with men, but this audience, all women. All women.
Great. Let's just stay here for a second. And I'm just kind of feeling into your current energy field and your higher self. And so like kind of immediately when I'm feeling like the two next to each other, like current is smaller, like dramatically smaller. You in the white is like big and bright and really expanding your field. And yeah, the confidence is there, but you're radiant. I mean, you're really expanded. So what do we need to do to shift into that space? So the feeling I'm getting, it's like they're making my chest side, like it's almost like trying to hold in a cough or like holding a sneeze. Like you can try to hold it in, but you ultimately can't, and it will come out. And so it's almost, okay, so what's keeping her stuck in this little small container then, holding back? Let's just break out of that then. Excuse me. They're making my chest so tight, and it's okay. So it's like she can remember going back into that small state, but trying to break her out, it's like we're really tight. And so let's go into the heart chakra. We're bringing the energy straight down and open up through heart, replacing the heart chakra. And let's release anything that's been holding you back. Withholding. Let's open up through the heart. Really create a nice safe boundary. And let's bring the energy back down. What do we need to do so that Mindy can expand to this next space? We still have a lot of layers to peel back and shift out of. All right, so what do we need to do to shift out and move? It's like when you're in a dressing room and you're trying on a dress that is like 2 sizes too small, and it's almost hard to like reach the zipper, and then like getting out of it, you like break a sweat. It's like this process of letting it go, but it's like you're kind of stuck in it temporarily. So let's open up to like let it out. Let's let her out of that dress, let out of that confinement. Excuse me. Let's open that up, let it go. Nice and easy. Archangel Michael's just stepped in to assist, to just kind of like sort of like lubricate, almost like to get it out, get it off of you, get you out of it. It's similar to like, you know, when the butterfly is starting to come out of that chrysalis, out of that cocoon, and you know, there's this newness to it. So let's open it up. In this really delicate, raw state, let's bring that next level of healing. Allowing Archangel Michael just to do whatever needs to happen to bring you into your highest alignment, allowing you to fully expand into your field. Now she's starting to get a little bit closer to that expanded state, but still very raw. So what do we need to do to bring it to that next level? Let's bring in more colors. And it's like that color spectrum. So there's like beautiful iridescent colors coming in. And there's this light spectrum that like we can't physically see, but this huge amount of energy coming in. Bringing in more gels, harmonics, the sounds. And that energy, like I mentioned, when you're balancing that energy, kind of like the walls coming into you, it's like this energy almost like coming and wrapping up around you so that you can expand and feel it into that support. Really emphasizing through third chakra, opening up the lower legs, down from the lower belly, down to the hips. Open up the second chakra. It's interesting, as your second chakra is opening up for more creativity, it's kind of signaling up to my head, into my brain. There are sort of centers in my brain that are starting to light up. And then we're going to be balancing all of the hormones. And the entire endocrine system corresponds with your chakras as well. So each of the chakras, as they are aligned and attuned and balanced, they're bringing in that alignment and that harmony in your system. And going down to the first chakra, opening up. All right, so let's open up even further. And this kind of fairy-like energy. I mean, it's similar like with the wings of the butterfly, but a little bit more like this fairy energy. It's coming in through your legs. And what they're showing too is like, now that you've got a little bit more of this lightness, and I do feel the sense of wings behind you, is like you can hop and skip and move however you need to move. It doesn't have to be like one foot in front of the other. There's a little bit more flexibility with moving through different timelines at the speed that feels appropriate for your energy field. And let's open up so that you can tolerate those leaps. Let's open up to higher levels of faith and the ability to move with your energy, not having to hold it back. And they're giving me that feeling like I'm about to go off of like a waterfall, like I'm in a boat, I'm about to go off of a waterfall over this cliff, and almost like, no. But you don't have to hold back. You don't have to slow it down. Like there's nothing you really could do in that situation anyway. But part of this is like really trusting, like it could be scary and it could feel like falling off of a cliff, but ultimately it is really like this dramatic shift into this next place where you need to be. Just keep clearing through the lungs, through the heart, and through the lower belly. And there's this clear audience opening up a little bit more, your ears, the sound. So like hearing your next direction, hearing your next move, being able to move intuitively. And even though you're kind of like moving with the river, falling off of this cliff over this waterfall, like you haven't fallen out of your boat, you made it fine, you're not even wet, you're good to go. And it's this next path, like, okay. And the more that you do this, the more you can trust in your own senses and your own ability to navigate. And it's like, you've been there all along, you've been in alignment, you know what to do, but it's really of like kind of being a little bit more of a risk taker. Like my body wants to kind of move and shake in different ways and allow the energy to kind of go and take me there. I'm getting a lot of inspired ideas on walks outside. And I don't know if you've stopped doing it as much or just like what, yeah.
It's freezing. It's below zero. It's so cold.
Yeah. Here too. It's
so terrible. Hard to go outside.
It is. But like, so your spirit really like,
outside. I know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And it's like, and I feel the same way. It's a non-negotiable for me too. I feel you, but it's like, you know, she wants to move her body and she needs to get that fresh air. And it's like, you need to be in the elements to really allow like nature to kind of work through your system. And, you know, it's like, oh, I can take risks. I can have these new ideas and everything in me is just like, so what can we do? What can we do that allows you to get that movement and that time? So, do you have a treadmill or do you, okay. So like, it's okay. So I have this treadmill that I just got recently and I can walk outside in nature. It shows me like a little screen.
Oh, like on the screen. Yeah. Mine is at my window. I run on it and walk on it a lot, but like, yeah. Okay.
Even if you're on like YouTube on a nature walk or like, I don't care what it is, but like, I need you to kind of light up your visual cortex a little bit. And maybe you do it with your eyes closed. Maybe that's like a practice, like a movie meditation that you do. That reminds me, in my practice this morning, I was like in Costa Rica on like a jungle platform and listening to the rain. Like that's where I was in my mind also. So it was like I was there, even though I was in my own living room. So I think that there could be a little bit of that, like your visual cortex needs to kind of be stimulated while you're moving. So however that looks for you, if you're looking outside, if that inspires you, for me, like it's gray today. It's not inspiring. It's
I usually am honestly watching something on television because running on the treadmill can be very like, oh my God.
Yes. It can be like, oh my God. And I actually never thought I would ever buy one. I've always procrastinated because I was like, am I really? But it can take me to places outside in nature. Yeah. And so I'm like, I actually really like it. So, you know, it works. But do what works for you and be very intentional the way that you would be if you were walking outside. Like you wouldn't be like watching a reality show in your pocket while you're out in the woods somewhere, right? Like you would be like, there. Yeah. So try it. It doesn't need to be like every day, but whatever your spirit needs. But that's also part of it is like she needs to move and shake and like really that okay, now I'm gripping in my jaw again. It's like clenching. Okay. Oh, it's time to let go of the right way to do things, Mindy. I just want to sit here for a minute, just holding the jaw a little bit because
mine's hurting now.
Sorry. It's time to let it go, you know. And this is tying with being a good girl and a good student. There's just not a right way. And it almost feels like you've been punishing yourself for not doing it the right way. And this jaw, this clenching of like, there's no right way. And I know that you are okay with that, knowing that there's not a right way, but I also feel like we have to just fully accept that. This is part of that bigness that wants to come through. And you're ready for it now. You've put in the hard work, you've put in the energy, but this is time. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Because this is that next layer, you know, this is that next layer, how you can teach and how you can lead, but you have to do it for you. And, And it's just like being in the river, like your heart's pounding, your every sense is going, and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna fall off the cliff, and here's we go. But everything in you knows exactly, like it's like your muscle memory, like you know exactly the right moves to do, and you can start to trust into your instincts. I swear to God, there's probably like a Disney movie that they do this, and I can't, it's not like coming to mind, but it's like instinctually, you have to like trust in your instincts. Like it's deeper than thought. It's your instincts, your soul. It knows the next move. It knows the next play. It just knows how to move, and it knows what it needs. So we have to drop into instinct. So we're going to just peel away the layers of that are holding back in the jaw, releasing that tension of needing it. There's no right way. And even though it maybe felt like stability, like a container, and you had your edges, it didn't work for you. It kept you too small. And we're opening up to a bigger container. So let's open up and expand all of Mindy's energy to fill into that bigger container. And I'm talking about like that white outfit, Mindy as well, you know, just pulling everything up into that level, expanding and finding new edges, finding her own limits, finding what's new, what's innovative. And you can feel, I mean, I can feel her. I can feel how much she relies on her instincts and her intuition. I can feel when she's making decisions, she's not getting really wrapped up in it. She's like that Xena energy of like strength. And she's like, boom, 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 making strong actions, strong decisions. And so this is also saying like, cut the bullshit, stop playing. Like, you know what to do. And I don't mean to yell at you, but this is the energy coming in. Like, don't play around. Like, you know what to do. And if you feel like the copy and the tech and all the other crap is like just weighing you down, like, what would she do? Would White Pants Mindy be doing that? Would she be hiring a team to do that? And it doesn't have to be like all or nothing, right? But like we need to open up to that next level support to come in. And she is open, right? She's like, yes. Would she hire somebody? Yes, she has a team that does that, right? It's taken care of for her. So she doesn't have to drop down and slink into that little Mindy. And so it's like, allow the support to come in to bring that next team member. Yeah. And trust. You got to trust that that person is there. And sometimes, I mean, this is what happens is like, you realize you need that position filled. You have some ideas, you put it out there. And then next thing you know, it's like, you already know somebody who's like in your field already, knows your work, has an idea of how to help you, wants to help you, and is willing to do the work, even if it's a project basis. Like, let that in. Let that in. Okay. Let go of your own expectations for how hard it's got to be to hire somebody. Like, all that. No, it doesn't have to be hard, because your higher self, like, she makes moves like this.
Everything that you're saying about this, these wheels are all in motion. Like, I have a job description for a VA. Like, everything is in motion. This year, I know we're early in the year, like, there was a change, and I'm so thankful that we're opening up the space for her, because I know her already. Like, yes. I'm making moves like her to be her, and and trust. You keep saying trust. Since I met you, Emily, 4 years ago, anytime I do a meditation, anytime I am in that cabin walking with my guides, anytime, what's the message? Trust yourself.
Right. And so what they're pulling me to do, and like, this is around like where your soul originated. They're bringing me into like the solar system right now. Okay, so let's go back there, because they're like, remember, you're getting too caught up in this 3D bullshit. Okay, go higher. Remember who you are. Go back to where you came from, and why on earth Why the hell did you even choose to come in here? I ask myself this constantly. But really, it's like pulling her back. Let's like, we're too in the minutia right now. We're too in like the details. Like, pull the lens back and pull up all the way. So past your physical body, past this space, past your house, pull all the way up, past earth, go up into heaven, go up past heaven, and pull up even higher. And it's like this like homing beacon that's happening right now. Let yourself go back there. And you don't have to know what your star is called, but you got to go back. And it's like they're calling you back. Like, let's start at the beginning. Because this is the breakdown of what your essence is here to do here. But it started a very long time ago. So when you can go back to that, it's almost like all of the sound kind of gets sucked out of the room. Feeling into that origin, where your soul came from. Feel how safe it is to be yourself. And it's like this little crystalline seed that's coming in back for you. Excuse me, huge shift there. Way to go. Bring in that beautiful little crystalline seed. A bright energy. And bring it all the way back down. And bring it all the way back into you. Bring it all the way down into the third chakra. And we're going to implant that little soul seed. And now I'm getting like the little sense of humor. My guides are like, she didn't want to go out of her soul. You brought the soul into her. Thank you for that. So let's just bring that right back into your third chakra. I swear they have such a great sense of humor. Bringing that right in and implanting that little seed, this little homing beacon, in case you ever forget who the F you are and where you came from. This is that reminder. Feel that now, and instantly, I don't know if you feel your first chakra open right up. It's like, whoo, as it roots in, it goes, whoo, and it expands, and that first chakra opens right up. And that's all about safety, security, finances, grounding, all that stuff. It's like, as soon as that seed, little bugger pop right in there and implant, it's like, okay, now I can relax. Okay. I feel like I've been holding my breath for a really long time. So bring breath down. Bring breath all the way down into third, into second chakra, down through base chakra. Really feel your feet grounded and rooted beneath you. Allow the energy to come all the way from heaven down through your entire spinal column and out through the base chakra, like a clear channel. Bring that all the way down. Bring that beautiful white healing all the way down through the entire spinal column, through that channel, and allow that next level to come all the way through. And instantly, as soon as you did, it's like you clicked right into that bigger energy field. It's not outside of you, it is you. So there's this new alignment that's coming in for you. So it's not acting as if your higher self is like, it's fully integrated. Is there anything else? I'm going to bring in the rest of your energy systems. And they're like, you know, there are some tight shoulders and expectations still in the shoulders, but you also have wings behind you still. So like, it's like this newer implanted rooted wings. So it's like we can expand as big as we want and move as fast or as slow, however dynamically as we want to. Feeling that security to make those big leaps? Because you have your own back, but also this next system is in. And I have my window open and there's a lot of like birds chirping. I don't know if it's coming through the speakers or not, but there's a lot of birds chirping for you right now. Let's look. Is there anything that they want to share with you? They're showing me and telling me how, you know, they're kind of showing me how like birds communicate in like their own little language from near and far. And then they're showing me how whales communicate in this depth of like, it can go so far. And so actually we did a forecast with Kim Woods and we brought in whale energy, and like that whale energy is coming in again for you. It's like the echo communicate is that what it's called? It's this all I'm seeing is like these energy lines going out. So it's like, first of all, the birds are kind of saying like, we have our own language, and so do you and your little starseed friends. It's like, communicate back and forth in your own little way. Get your messages, get your next steps, get your downloads. Let them kind of give you that next step in front before you're about to take it. Like, let them show you that next thing. But then that wheel energy is like going, this is that magnetism that you're going to be bringing. And I also want you to envision that magnitude as you're sending the messages out from you to your soulmate clients, what you're here to do, how you're here to show up, how you're here to serve at your highest level, and really see that coming from heaven through you and like blast it out. But really, it's like, it's your biggest thing is like getting past that heart chakra and dropping into the third chakra. Because once you get in there, everything else lights up and everything moves. Next steps. Next steps is like, you know, we're going down the river. We're starting to do some whitewater rafting, and we have to start really making some moves, making some big moves, taking some risks, starting to navigate in a whole new way, trusting your instincts even more than like your eyesight. Like, and you see like the different references coming in with like the echolocation, and like it's like the closing your eyes doing yoga and feeling the support around you. It's like there's this whole new dynamic of how you can bring your messaging through you and out, and it's far beyond like the semantics of words and all that other stuff. Okay, that will come. But it's like, let's really take you there to like a whole new level of delivery, pulling the energy down through you, spreading it out, allowing people to come in. And this, they're bringing me back to you on stage because so I'm really so visual. So her white auric field, it was like there was a spotlight on a spotlight on a spotlight, and it was like this spreading, this huge magnitude of energy, of white energy around her and in that entire space. And so she was doing that. She was expanding her field so big. So as you're doing this work and expanding your field in that way, I know you, like you mentioned, you're doing reboot, you're clearing your energy, but you also have to be mindful that you are setting up a clear space for yourself to do that kind of expansion in. It is no effing joke. Okay. So like, you need to set the container, just like I did before the session. We're setting the container for this clear space, and you need to be able to do that so that your system can fully expand the way you need to. And so bringing in white light, bringing in that violet flame, even to really set up the container for you to be able to expand yourself in a safe way for the highest and best outcome. And allowing that higher level of consciousness to really beam out of you. And as you come back in, after you've done this expansion work, coming slowly back in, we've done this before together, we kind of a little bit, but coming back in and then just re-clearing your space, re-clearing your field, coming back in and like kind of feeling the edges of your auric field coming into a safer container for like life to happen. And really just affirm that having a complete opening and closing of that container is also going to help to really drive in that work, like really pull it in, because you're like, we just don't want we have the same like mason jar. It's a vessel, right? I can fill it up to here because these are my edges. The same goes for your energy that you're bringing in. Like you got to clear the container, hold the container, and then bring it back in, clear it again. I went over time. I know that. I'm sorry. I can only do what I can do.
I'm not sorry.
Okay. I'm sweating.
I'm sweating. I am sweating.
Yeah, this is good. It's good. It's like a little detox. We're getting out the stuff that doesn't serve. I want you just to stay in this field for a second, just hold this energy. Yeah. I can see you're like moving your body. It's a whole new alignment. It's a whole new field that's coming in. And so I want you to kind of feel here for a second as I can help hold it with you. This crystal, which is, I got to get the name of it. I'll send it to you later. This crystal was the one that wanted to work with you. I think it's like a calcite.
Is that an ocean blue calcite?
Yes.
Oh, it's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. I have a big one and it is like, I love it.
I was like, I want to get the name and I forgot to get it. Yes. So this little friend is like,
okay. Actually, I think it's called the Caribbean blue calcite.
Yes,
doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that. I love the ocean. Like I'm a half mermaid. Like I love the ocean. All right.
Yes.
Awesome.
And so just hear what happened to your energy too, and your voice, and you're like, I'm a half mermaid. Like I know this. Like see what just happened. Like this is the power of working with crystals as well, right? So when you're doing this work,
holding this giant rose quartz the whole time.
Oh, help! Send friends. So, but this is it. It's like certain crystals show up for you, for everybody that I work with. But this one, I've actually never given it to a client and said like, this is for you. This is the first time I've ever done it. So she definitely wants to work with you.
Okay.
So I would invite you, when you're doing this expansion work, hold on to it. And then you're going to program her, the crystal, to be able to do this work. And she's going to help ground you to keep you here. And she's also going to help you go like wherever you got to go.
Okay.
And I would call in that mermaid energy. Like there's something to that, Mindy. We were just talking about whales and echolocation. Like there's like, this is the thing. We can't be in our head overthinking stuff because our soul is like, I'm a mermaid.
Right.
Like I will fight you if you try to, like that energy you just came at me was like, I am a mermaid, period. So like that energy is so yummy. So let's go into that space. So bring in your whatever Caribbean blue calcite, bring it in energetically.
Okay.
Bring in that mermaid energy and feel that embodied into every cell.
Whew. You feel it.
Yeah. What's coming up for you?
Ease. And it's just, it's easy to be me. Like, it's easy. So supported, warm. Like, I'm literally feeling like the ocean, warm ocean on my skin, just like moving. So much play, so much fun in there. So supported too, like literally not a care in the world.
Yeah. Beautiful. From this place, just ask, what are my next steps? So that I can serve at my highest level. Get out of the jaw, drop into third chakra.
Really, go ahead.
I would say feel that crystalline energy and feel that mermaid energy.
No, I'm getting a ton of like, be visible. Like, literally like the mermaid, like jumping, how the, like onto the rock kind of a thing. Like, be visible, share your magic, like this is.
What's the first real specific action to be visible? I feel like I want to apologize, but I'm getting reels.
Awesome. No, I've been upping my reels game. So you were talking about making big moves, and I'm engaging a PR firm for visibility. So that's a big move, and that's, oh my God, my jaw is like locking up. I'm like,
how does it feel to work with that PR firm?
So right. Like, it was a simple decision. Like, literally she said like 3 things and I was like, yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. And in this higher energy, I know there's going to be that resistance that starts to happen, and that's okay. And you can also call in that crystalline energy to like, come on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if they make those like pretty like massagey things.
Oh, like a gosh, that starts with a G. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The roller, like a roller.
Oh, gua sha,
okay,
or
a roller. Or a roller. Okay, yeah,
whatever. But I mean, you can even take if it's. I mean, this is
mine's smooth. Mine's smooth.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, so you can use it on there and allow that energy to like infuse into your jaw.
Is this control? Is this that control still? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, but there's a right way. Okay. So if you get yourself, that's where it's going to flare up if there's a right way.
Okay.
And then you have to drop in like, mermaid don't give no shit. She does like, whatever.
Yeah.
Go where I want to go. I'm a mermaid, damn it. So there's no rules. It's just fun and play. And so like, is it too rigid for you to have a PR firm? Like, does that still feel good?
You know what? It feels really good because I'm hiring somebody else to do all that. Like, you pitch me, you do, and I'll just do my thing, like, so It feels really good. It feels really expansive.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. And my jaw's like totally loosening up right
Good.
now. Like it's like,
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Because it does. It feels really expansive.
Good. And that's where you're going to be making your decisions from. You know, your body will flare up in different ways. And sometimes it flares up because it's in resistance to the expansion happening. But ultimately you have to use your instincts of like, I know that this is the direction, or no, this is not. And if you're a little wishy-washy, you got to drop down into third chakra, pull in that the crystalline energy, pull in the mermaid energy, and really let that person let the decision shift instantaneously.
Okay.
They're like, and we're good. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna seal this off as, and we give great gratitude for all of Mindi's guidance, for their work, their wisdom, their messages. We ask that she's always surrounded by this beautiful light of healing and unconditional love, this support, this next level of clarity and discernment, allowing her to walk through this next path, to take leaps, to feel like she can trust in her instincts, to move at any pace that feels right for her and her highest self, allowing her to feel expanded, joyous, easy, playful, have fun, pulling in that energy each and every day, reminding her into that next level that's ready and here. Thank you, and so be it. Good. The first chakra is like really, really, really open and rooted. So you know all about aftercare. Extra water, pinch of salt, mineral water, Epsom salt baths, time in nature, eating foods that feel nourishing, all the things that you already do. But just being mindful that, you know, we went through that delicate stage and shifting and opening, letting go of the old system, and this whole new system is in. And so like, they're saying like 1 to 2 weeks max for full integration. It's really quick, which maybe by other people's standards is not very fast, but like there have been times where I've had a 12-week integration. So like it, you know, it takes the time it takes.
Yeah.
So again, work with that crystalline energy. And like, and this is kind of a similar thing that's happening with me, is like really creating a different container when I start work.
Okay.
And when I end work, you know, the opening, the closing, and really being mindful of that. And they're showing me even like Mr. Rogers, like taking off the sweater, changing your outfit if you need to at the end of the day. This is a great way to shift your energy, to clear whatever is off of you. And especially if you're doing anything client related, that like, if any of that energy is kind of still lingering around you or on your clothing, it's like, we're just taking it off, and like a whole fresh energy kind of comes in with that too.
Okay.
And invite you to buy some white clothing. You know, I actually, funny enough, I have a white shirt on underneath this, which I don't normally wear, but I put it on. But white is that color of the crown chakra, and of spirit connection, divine white healing light. Like this is the highest vibration. And also, you know, as a student, when I was learning energy healing, we all had to wear white, like as a uniform, so that we could really be clear from having any energy and stuff like stuck onto us. And so really that clear, that lightness, you know, whatever you need to do for your space, for your wardrobe, whatever. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. I could go on forever. Clearly, I'm gonna work on this timing thing. I promise for later sessions, I will work on it. So anyway, thank you so much for being, I mean, literally, you're welcome. You're the first of this series. So, you know, for people who are watching or listening, however this is shared, I would love to hear what's come up for you guys. And, you know, thank you for holding the space also for Mindi as you watch her replay after the session. So thank you for this. And
thank you. No, I thank you. I don't even have words. Yeah.
It's good. It's good. All right.
Hey, I'm Mindi, Intuitive Mindset Mastery Coach, and I had an amazing session with the Emily Aarons on Emily TV. And this is just my 2-minute check-in on how I'm feeling afterwards. It's been about 10 days or so, and the integration has been amazing. The biggest shift for me is completely stepping into my highest self. I had so many downloads about what she does, what she thinks, how she is, like just her being, her essence. And that has been incredible to tap into that and to just continually ask myself, like, oh, am I operating in my highest self right now? I immediately following the session was just buzzing with energy. Emily removed blocks and opened up things for my next level that they're just coming in. The downloads just keep coming and coming. And the call to just be authentically my wild, weird, driven self has never been more clear. I am honored. Thank you, Emily, as always, to work with you in all the ways that you make available to us. And the expansion is palpable. I can feel it. I can hear it. I can see it. I can even taste it because higher self, right? She's eating more high nutrient food than ever before. So I just can't thank you enough for the opportunity. And I cannot recommend enough energy work, healing work, meditation, all the things to just completely expand, to release and to expand into all that you were made to be. Thanks, Emily.